Hey, Aunt Ruta, this is Terena. How you doing, Aunt Ruta? Hey, you remember we used to grow up and stuff, and we used to go to the beauty supply, and we used to see Chinese people helping us get the things, the beauty stuff that we needed and stuff like that. But yeah, we did grow up around the Chinese because they own business. They didn't live in our neighborhoods on the west side, but uh they did own a business in Chicago, Illinois, on the west side. So we'll go to the Chinese restaurants on the west side of Chicago, and my favorite would be getting egg rolls. So always like we always like Chinese food in the family. I'm a big fan of the Chinese. And during the time on the west side, I I went to school. I did go to school with the gangsters. I went to school with, you know, um, high school. High school. The name of it was John Metro Marshall High School. Um, where I met Otis Bankhead. That's a Twister cousin. I wasn't really into rap, but when I had saw, I said, "Oh my God, that's your cousin?" He said, "Yeah, Twister, my cousin." But he go by the name Honey Man, light skinned guy, fair skinned, light skinned guy. Yeah, and I remember him giving us a ride home. Me and my ex fiance back then, Gregory James. His name is Gregory James, my ex fiance. He know Gregory James. Uh, my other friend Charlie Hendricks, he know who Gregory James is. Everybody around the hood knew we were going together too. Everybody knew that me and Gregory was together. So, and I used to have an ex-boyfriend. His name was Jake. Jake was Jake was dark brown skin. That's like the only dark brown skinned man that I ever got along with that was really cool with me. In the hood. We all stayed on the west side, you know. So, I think I was quite diverse when it came to relationships. I have never been raised to hate any culture. First of all, if you grew up in my household, we were very spiritual. We were so spiritual. We were like the Chinese people. We were like how they were when they believed in God. So I got along with a lot of cultures in Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, Mom. I was talking about my Aunt Ruta. I was talking to, yeah. And, you know, um, but yeah. And I remember when you go to Chicago Avenue on the west side, it used to be, when you go on LeClaire and Chicago Avenue, it used to be a little DVDs, a little, not DVD, but it used to be a game room over there, a game room where you used to go in and get movies. We used to get movies and stuff and get. It used to be more like how blockbusters were. That's how it was. We used to go inside this place where you see these colorful, stringy type of tassels. They used to be all around the store. If I could jog my memory, I stayed around the Austin neighborhood. So we were closer to the Oak Park people. The Oak Park people, we was like closer. So it used to be a Leamington around there, a Leamington. It used to be a goodie shop, a little goodie shop. And we used to go to this lady called Sweets. Her name was called Sweets on Huron. Once you walk towards Chicago Avenue, LeClaire, you go up a street called Huron. Huron. Once you get on Huron, used to be a candy store over there. Then on Chicago Avenue and Laverne, I think Chicago Avenue, Laverne, it used to be a goodie shop. A goodie shop across the street. It used to be a fish market. How it used to be in the 90s. We talking about how it used to be in the 1990s. The early 90s. When the buses used to be green and stuff and used to be different. The buses were different. The buses that we had were different back then. The trains were different. You know. So everything was kind of different. You know. But yeah, we were around. We were buying stuff from the Chinese people. Egg rolls. You curl your tongue. Curl your tongue. Egg rolls. But we don't call them egg rolls. We call them egg rolls. They call egg rolls. But I will always make a joke called Negroes, egg rolls. I will always joke like that, you know. It used to make me laugh because, you know, the black people were around the Chinese people in the hood. We used to go to their nail salon. You know, we'll go to the restaurants, like I was saying. We'll go to their beauty supply store. You know, they were in the Chinese were in the neighborhood. So that's what we did, you know. They clicked with the black people. You had some of the Chinese acting like they were black. So they came around a lot of black people and did business. And in Chicago, Illinois, they gave the Chinese people more money in Chicago, Illinois to run that business. I know, baby. Oh, thank you. Thank you, baby. This is for Mother's Day. Thank you so much. Thank you, baby. Thank you, Brody. But I gotta get going. I gotta enjoy my Mother's Day with my church. Jada D.
Yes, Mom.
What did you make?
I'm gonna make something.
Let me see right now.
She hasn't made it yet. She's in the process of making it.
Okay, Mama. Oh, all right. I'm gonna get off this phone and stuff.